I don't even know I hit the thing, brother.
Oh, sure, bro. God bless, man.
Hello?
Yeah, what's up?
Hello.
Are you Muslim?
Yeah.
Why are you Muslim, bro?
Why am I Muslim?
Yeah.
Let me see. One reason is because I like how they teach me discipline.
You like how they teach you discipline?
Sorry. I like how Islam shows discipline.
Okay. Um, I mean, does that mean that like what you believe is true though?
No, I'm just giving a reason why I like Islam.
I mean, like, say for instance, if I like being on a schedule, so I figure that I should go to jail because they have a real nice schedule over there. Would that make sense?
No.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm saying that like you could get discipline in a lot of things that are actually like going to be beneficial for your soul. Like Christianity, I think that Islam is going to be damaging for you, especially in the long run.
It's damaging.
Yeah.
Explain.
So like Islam tells you to follow something that isn't true. It tells you to deny history. It like damages your intellect. You can like see that with a lot of the Muslims that we talk to on a daily basis, and it's gonna lead you to hell. Like all of
No,
those
but that's
things.
subjective to you, though. That's subjective.
No, I think that if Islam is true, then it should be provable, right? And if Islam
Hmm.
is false, then it's important that you prove it to be false. I think that there's good evidence to go to show that Islam is false. So you shouldn't follow it. Because if you follow something that's false, then it's going to lead you to hell.
Yeah, no. Honestly, I support what you're doing like a little bit because you're doing it out of you're doing it out of I don't know. I want to say love, but that's kind of like
Nah, yeah, I'm like,
yeah,
well, at
yeah.
least I'm trying to. Like, obviously, there's a couple conversations that's entertaining and stuff, but I'm not trying to be like super mean spirited. Like, even the people who's coming up here and we disagree, we laughing and it's still like, joyful and stuff. I'm not trying to just spread hate, but I genuinely do think that there's good arguments to show that Islam is false. And if Islam is false, then I don't think that people should be following it. Um, it's just not something good to follow. You want me to give
Oh,
an
can you show me
argument
a
for?
argument?
Yeah, like for example, I think this is an easy one, right? For a prophet to be a true prophet,
Mm-hmm.
they have to be in what's known as continuity with the previous prophets.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
yeah, yeah. I definitely understand that. You know.
Okay, yeah. So for a prophet to be a true prophet, they have to be in continuity with the previous prophets. Now, the Bible, like what we have as the Bible today, it claims to have the teachings of the prophet. But when we look at the Bible, we see that the Bible contradicts the teachings of Muhammad. So if the Bible was true, then Muhammad would be a false prophet because he contradicts the previous prophets. Now, if the Bible is false and it's unreliable, then we have no other writings of the prophets. We don't have a way to figure out if he's in continuity with the previous prophets. And if we can't verify him to be in continuity, then there's no reason to believe that he is a prophet. So then there would be no reason to be a Muslim.
Wait, so what you're saying is that if the Bible is false, then also Islam would be false because Islam doesn't connect with the continuity of the Bible, correct?
Yeah, it doesn't connect with any of the previous prophets. So in order to be a true prophet, you have to be in continuity. So like, I want to figure out if Muhammad is a true prophet. I have to verify if he's a true prophet. The way that I would do that is to look at the previous writings of the prophets to verify if he's a true prophet. Now, if this Bible that I have today is the true revelation of the prophets, then Muhammad contradicts that. So then he would be a false prophet. But if this isn't the writings of the prophets, we don't have any other text that say that they're the writings of the previous prophets. So then we would have no way to verify that Muhammad is a true prophet. So then there would be no reason to believe that he's a true prophet. Therefore, there would be
Uh,
no reason to be a Muslim.
no, but isn't there no? Because there's writings. No, like give me an example. Give me an example of like a prophet.
Jesus.
Jesus, okay, right? Jesus, okay, Jesus. Uh, I mean, honestly, Islam and again, Islam and Christianity, they have two different images of Jesus, right? So if there's two different things, that would actually line up with the Islamic continuity, and that would and if Islam is true, then the Christian image of Jesus, it wouldn't really matter
No,
because
so I'm saying that. Okay, look, I'm saying that like Jesus is the prophet that came before Muhammad, according to you, right?
mhm.
Okay, I want to see if Muhammad's message lines up with Jesus's message. Where would I go to see what Jesus taught?
Like where like are you talking about like a source?
Yeah, where would I go to see what Jesus taught?
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Okay, so I would say look into that, right? Look
Hmm.
into where we can verify that Muhammad is a prophet, right? I got to see if he is in continuity with the prophet that came right before him, which would be Jesus, right? Let me
Hmm.
see what Jesus taught. And obviously, you're not going to use the Quran because Muhammad's the one who reveals the Quran. I'm trying to figure out if Muhammad's a true prophet. So, outside of the Quran, where can I find Jesus's teachings? Um, and are those teachings, are they reliable? Are they actually
Wait,
giving me Jesus's
real quick.
teachings?
So wait. Are you talking about the Quran and the Bible?
I'm trying to figure out if the Quran is true, if Muhammad is a true prophet. If Muhammad's a true prophet, then he would be in continuity with the previous prophet, right?
No, but okay. Sorry, but you said that you wouldn't use the Quran, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so would that also mean that you wouldn't be using the Bible?
I wouldn't use like in order to so the Bible is a collection of books. It's not like the Quran. So the Quran has like one revealer, right? Like the Quran is supposedly revealed by Allah to Muhammad, and then Muhammad is the one who recites it, right? And
Hmm.
he's the one who's attributed to the Quran, right? It's just Muhammad. The Bible has numerous authors. So you have a lot of different prophets in there. So when you're sitting here and you look at Jesus and Jesus is saying things like the Messiah is going to die, I would go to the previous prophets and see if Jesus is telling the truth. And then when I go to those previous prophets, I see the previous prophets prophesying that there's going to be a Messiah that's going to die, right? So I can see that he's in line with those previous prophets. Right? I'm not just going, just take Jesus's writings. Or Jesus's teachings. I'm gonna go and see if what he's saying actually lines up with what they were teaching. I see that it does. Cool. Right? He's in line with them. Now I'm doing the same for Muhammad. I'm trying to figure out if Muhammad is a true prophet. So I'm going to go to the previous teachings. Now, if the Bible actually have the verified teachings of the previous prophets, then Muhammad's a false prophet because he contradicts them. But
Wait,
if
real quick. We have a question. Okay, wait. So you said that you know so you know the people or you know the authors of the Bible, correct?
yeah,
Okay. Uh, do they ever identify themselves? Like,
I
in their
mean,
work?
yeah, some of them, yeah,
Can you give me a verse?
yeah, like Paul identifies himself. If you like, I mean, I don't know exactly what you want, but yeah, like so Paul identifies himself. Do you just want a verse where he's like, I Paul? Peter
Yeah.
identifies himself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll do Peter instead. Uh, okay. So like the very first um verse, First Peter, the
Mm-hmm.
Epistle of Peter, it says, Peter, an apostle of Jesus Christ, right? To those who are the elect exiles. He literally names himself at the beginning of his epistle.
Okay. So
John,
also,
at the end of his gospel, um, He writes his whole gospel, and he says, "This is the disciple who is bearing witness about these things and who has written these things." He writes that at the end of his gospel.
And also, so Peter is narrating on this chapter, correct?
In First Peter 1, he's writing it. He just writes his name at the beginning of it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's just First Peter chapter 1. You can read that. Paul does the same in a lot of the letters. Um, so um yeah, so I would look into that though. Like, does Muhammad line up with the previous prophets? Can we read what the previous prophets taught? And if he goes against what the previous prophets taught, then you know not to follow him, right?
Yeah.
Um
Actually, so like just to make sense. Okay, I honestly, I'll be honest. Your argument makes like a lot of sense, right?
thank you.
Yeah, I can like definitely see that. So I'm gonna look into that. I don't know. I don't know that much about Christian theology, to be
Mhm.
honest. So
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, look into it. If you have questions about Christianity, sometimes I open up like a "Why aren't you Christian?" live. That's usually my topic, which is why, like, when I go on my screen, you see "Why aren't you Christian?" here. Um, but yeah, you come back, you can ask questions about Christianity, or why you think Christianity's false or whatever. And most of the time, I'm just defending Christianity. Today, I just did a different topic. But yeah, look into it, please. Come back, ask questions, whatever the case may be, man.
all right,
God bless you,
I
brother.
will. Right here.
Um,